Hello, my name is Mark Hakun. I am the Acting Deputy Chief Information Officer for Cybersecurity and the Deputy Senior Information Security Officer for the Department of Defense. I have been in this position in approximately 4 months. Prior to that, I was the Deputy Chief Information Officer for the National Security Agency. I have been in federal service 35 years, including active duty military, the last 20 of that in the cybersecurity area. I entered the cybersecurity area in 2000 during the I Love You virus when I was the officer under a CIO on the Navy West Coast Command, had to respond for the command, and then needed to have further education and training on how to respond as a whole information system security manager for the entire command. That was when I discovered the Information Management Resources College, which now you know as the National Defense University College of Information and Cyberspace. I took their Information Security Manager class back in 2002. Later ended up in the acquisition field for Navy network defense and cross-domain solutions. And in 2007, moved to the National Security Agency, where I served in the Information Assurance Director for about 13 years. What I've learned in information security and now as we know as cyberspace, is that the fundamentals still apply. You need to have the basics on your networks in order to ensure security, in order to ensure proper hygiene, and in order to secure the mission happens. Cybersecurity and mission completion are not mutually exclusive. In order to ensure mission completion, the networks now are required to be and maintain secure. And that just does not include just availability of the system, but the confidentiality and integrity of the data on those networks. When information assurance became a broad topic back in the early 2000s, availability was more the concern in a lot of cases where the mission operators wanted to ensure their system operated. If the data was somehow interfered with or hijacked, the system, as long as it operated, it still got the mission done, was viewed as a success. That is not the case today. The mission needs to go on, but with secure mission so the users trust it, because lives are at risk and national interests can be affected. As I mentioned with my career, I was not trained in cybersecurity. I'm actually a member of the last class of the United States Naval Academy that did not have a computer. So for 15 years, I was not thought to be in this field. So when I sought out and was needed to serve in an information assurance capacity, I sought out graduate education. So professionally, it's done me quite well. I've actually found with being a graduate of NDU, whether in a specific CIO program or other programs, colleagues and such I've run across that's shown the value of that education. We think of the cyber world as primarily being somebody who's hands on keyboard at a tactical level, and all those individuals are quite important. But when policies come down from a level that I'm now sitting at across, we need to understand the whole hierarchy of the mission completion relative to those people on the keyboards all the way through the life cycle of the product. Graduate education, such as what NDU provides, does that. It ties the mission back to the system and allows thought leaders to propose ways of getting the missions done in creative ways, but in secure ways. The most important thing working through a career in information assurance is the people. While you maintain the systems, the people who maintain those systems and the wherewithal of those people to maintain those systems are most important. That is why part of the position I'm in with overseeing the Defense Cyber Workforce Framework is ensuring from top to bottom the Department of Defense workforce has the tools it needs, the billets it needs, the training it needs to go do that end-to-end mission. Not just the hands on keyboard, but the people making the policies, the people issuing the CAC cards, and down to all the entire users. What training anybody who works in the Department of Defense who has a keyboard in front of their office or their cell phone or their tablet where they do work needs to have training in cybersecurity now. They need to know how to use their CACs. They need to know how to use their PINs. They need to know how to use all those tools that they have available to them just from a general workforce standpoint. So it's a broad education that's required now for the workforce rather than just the people with closest to the mission. Students looking to become a successful leader in this space need to focus on the entire breadth of the mission and how they fit in the integral part of that mission. Learn what theater of our operation you're working in, what your combatant command or what your military service or your constituents utilize what systems they have, what the status of those systems are, whether they're patched properly, whether they're maintained properly, whether they're upgraded. Just because the latest technology is available doesn't mean it's best utilized for the current mission. The weakest link is the oldest system who's not patched, and if they're still part of your network, that's where you need to focus as opposed to the new upgrades. Continual education is important as well. So like I mentioned, I've been in that business 20 years. The technology has changed, but the risk management framework and how we go about risk hasn't. To a great extent, the same theories of risk management, knowing your networks and using proper procedures when you're going to approve or operate, even though we're trying to speed those up, the stale framework still exists and is still valuable as we're putting systems online. Yes, we do need to know how to do things faster in the DevSecOps world. That is important, but the basic premise is still operate in a mission environment in a secure way. The educated cyber workforce is now just not tied to somebody in a server room. The cyber workforce is an acquisition professional. It's a contracts professional. It's a finance professional. They all need to understand the importance of cyber and cybersecurity as a cultivate the missions for the Department of Defense and actually the whole of government. The individuals in those positions need to understand the implications of what they authorize for their systems, what funding they need to go authorize. When somebody asks to go for adjustment in the cyber budget, it's a lot cleaner, a lot easier if the financial professionals understand what those systems are, what they do, can make the justifications or the needs, understand how the contracting language works. Cybersecurity is a whole team sport now, not just a reserve to information professionals. Schools such as National Defense University and the opportunities it provides to network, to visit with companies, to integrate with the military and the industry professionals are a great way to maintain and grow the cyber workforce inside the Department of Defense. Just as the rest of the country and the rest of the world, we are short on cyber professionals. Maintaining the excellent ones we have is a key priority. So giving them additional benefits such as education, such as training, such as professional experiences with industry vendors are key to maintain that cyber workforce, not just now, but into the future. Additionally, there are various scholarship programs where coming out of colleges, people can be recruited for cybersecurity areas, such as my parent agency at the National Security Agency is in charge of the National Cyber Scholarship Program, which allows recruitment of people in certain educational fields to work for the government and have their education covered. So those are some areas where the Department of Defense is leading on the edge to maintain the cyber workforce and grow the cyber workforce to where we need it.